I knew this time was coming. And we as a world have never been here before. And so is it a spooky time? Damn yeah. It is probably the most dangerous time ever. There's nothing to compare it.
Remember 2008? The world was in a state of chaos. The stock market crashed, banks collapsed, and millions lost their jobs. Now, in 2024, we're facing a threat that could be even more devastating. Robert Kiyosaki, a financial guru who predicted the last crisis, has a new warning. A total economic collapse is coming. And this time, it's not just your investments at risk, it's everything.
I think as an adult, you can go hungry, but you don't want to see your kids go hungry. And that's what's going to happen.
You think it's going to get that bad?
Yeah.
In this video, we're going in-depth into Kiyosaki's chilling prediction. We'll explore why he believes a collapse is inevitable, how it could be worse than anything we've seen before, and most importantly, what you can do to protect yourself. Get ready, because we're about to begin an eye-opening exploration into the potential future of our global economy. Let's start by understanding the context of Kiyosaki's prediction. To truly grasp the gravity of what he's saying, we need to rewind and look at the patterns of the past. The 2008 financial crisis wasn't just a random event. It was a culmination of years of financial mismanagement, excessive risk-taking, and a fundamental misunderstanding of how fragile the global economy can be.
So the fear today, I think people are a little bit wiser, is because they do remember 2008, and they do remember 2000.
History often repeats itself, and Kiyosaki points to past financial crises as a roadmap for what we might expect. The Great Depression of the 1930s, the dot-com bubble burst of the early 2000s, and the 2008 financial crisis all share similarities with today's economic landscape. By studying these events, we can see patterns of over-leverage, speculation, and subsequent collapse. Fast forward to 2024, and according to Kiyosaki, we're on a similar, if not more dangerous, path. Kiyosaki has always been a vocal critic of traditional financial systems and education. He's known for his blunt assessments and his ability to cut through the noise and get to the heart of financial matters. His book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, wasn't just about making money. It was about understanding the systemic flaws in how we perceive and handle our finances. Now, he's warning us again, but this time, the stakes are even higher. So, what's different about 2024? For starters, the global debt has reached unprecedented levels. We're not just talking about national debts, but corporation and personal debts as well. This mountain of debt has been building over the years. And like a house of cards, it takes only one strong gust of wind to bring it all down. Kiyosaki believes that gust is coming, and it's going to be more like a hurricane. But it's not just the debt. Kiyosaki points to the overprinting of money by central banks as a critical issue. This influx of fake money, as he calls it, has propped up the economy for a while, but it's not sustainable.
And the US dollar is fake. Never in the history of the world has any fake money ever survived.
It's like putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound. Sooner or later, the reality of our economic fragility will catch up with us. Another factor is the artificial inflation of asset prices. Consider the stock market, which has been going up for years, but Kiyosaki argues that this growth isn't based on solid economic fundamentals.
For example, 100 years ago, if there was a stock market crash in England, it didn't affect anybody. Now the US goes down, the world goes down.
It's been driven by speculation, easy monetary policies, and a false sense of security. When the market corrects itself, and it always does, the fallout could be catastrophic. Several economic indicators support Kiyosaki's prediction. These include the debt-to-GDP ratio, which is at an all-time high in many countries, signaling that economies are more leveraged than ever. Another indicator is the inverted yield curve, which has historically been a predictor of recessions. Additionally, consumer confidence indices and manufacturing data are showing signs of weakness, suggesting the economy is not as robust as it appears. Kiyosaki's prediction of a total economic collapse isn't just about the markets crashing. It's about a systemic failure that affects every aspect of our lives. We're talking about job losses on a massive scale, savings wiped out, pensions disappearing, and a significant decrease in the standard of living for most people. It's a scenario where the economic engines we rely on grind to a halt. So, why does Kiyosaki believe this collapse is inevitable? He looks at the patterns of history and the current economic indicators. The signs are there: the excessive debt, the overvalued markets, the reliance on fake money, and the lack of real financial education. He sees these as harbingers of a crisis that could dwarf the 2008 recession. Let's break down Robert Kiyosaki's prediction of an economic collapse and what it really means for the average person, in plain numbers and hard facts. When we talk about an economic collapse, we're not just discussing the stock market dips or temporary job losses. We're looking at a fundamental shakeup of our entire financial system, and the numbers paint a pretty stark picture. Firstly, consider the stock market. A lot of us have our retirement savings tied up in 401ks or other investment accounts. Now, remember the 2008 crisis? The stock market plummeted by nearly 50%. Imagine you had $100,000 in your retirement account. In a matter of months, it could have been slashed to $50,000. That's not just a dip, that's half of your life savings gone. Now, fast forward to 2024, and with the market even more inflated due to years of low interest rates and quantitative easing, the potential drop could be even more significant. Then there's the job market. In economic downturns, unemployment rates soar. During the Great Depression, unemployment was over 20%. In 2008, it went up to 10%. If we're facing a collapse that's worse than 2008, as Kiyosaki suggests, we could see unemployment rates hitting new highs. This means millions more without jobs, struggling to make ends meet. Now, let's talk about debt. As of 2024, U.S. consumer debt is at an all-time high. Average household debt exceeding $90,000. This includes mortgages, credit cards, auto loans, and student loans. In an economic collapse, with job losses and no new income, paying off this debt becomes a Herculean task. Defaults and bankruptcies could skyrocket, further worsening the economic crisis. Pensions are another critical area. Many pension funds are already underfunded. In a major economic downturn, the situation could worsen. If your pension fund takes a hit and can't meet its obligations, that has a direct impact on your retirement plans. Imagine counting on a certain amount of your retirement and then finding out you'll receive only a fraction of it, or worse, none at all. The housing market, too, would feel the brunt. During the 2008 crisis, home values dropped by about 33%. If you owned a home worth $300,000, it could have devalued to $200,000. In a more severe crisis, the drop could be even steeper. This not only affects homeowners, but also disrupts the entire real estate market, affecting builders, real estate agents, and many other related professions. Inflation is another factor to consider. Post-crisis, governments often print more money to stimulate the economy, leading to inflation. If your money is worth less, your purchasing power decreases. This means higher prices for everyday goods, from groceries to utilities, further straining your budget. The cumulative effect of these factors is not just a temporary setback, it's a potential reshaping of our financial landscape. It means rethinking retirement plans, savings strategies, and even day-to-day spending. For the average person, this could mean working longer years, downsizing lifestyles, and facing financial uncertainties that were previously unthinkable. We cannot deny the numbers are telling us about a possible financial disaster that could affect every part of our lives. Well, let's now turn our attention to what we can actually do in the face of Robert Kiyosaki's daunting prediction. It's one thing to understand the potential for a total economic collapse in 2024, but it's another to actively prepare for it. So, how do we get ready for this storm that we know is coming? Firstly, building financial resilience is key. Think of it like preparing for a literal storm. You'd stock up on essentials, right? In financial terms, this means having an emergency fund. It's your financial safety net. Reducing debt, especially the high-interest kind, is also crucial. Diversification is your next line of defense. It's not just about having different types of investments, it's about spreading your risk. Imagine if one part of your investment portfolio takes a hit. Diversification ensures that your entire financial world doesn't crumble. Recent studies, like those from UBS, have highlighted the importance of this approach, especially with a potential recession on the horizon. Kiyosaki has always been big on real assets: gold, silver, and real estate. In uncertain economic times, these assets often hold their value or even appreciate.
I don't trust the dollar. So for most of my life, I've saved gold and silver.
But it's not just about what you do with your money. Staying informed and resourceful is absolutely necessary. In today's world, economic situations can change rapidly. Keeping up with these changes, understanding what they mean for you, and being ready to adjust your strategies are vital. We can also learn a lot from history. Look back at past economic downturns, what worked, what didn't, and how people got through them. These lessons are very helpful for getting ready for a possible future crisis. Then there's the mental and emotional side of things. Preparing for an economic downturn isn't just a financial exercise, it's a psychological one too. It's about being mentally ready to handle the stress and uncertainty that comes with financial upheaval. Lastly, don't underestimate the power of community. In tough times, having a strong network can make all the difference. Whether it's for emotional support, sharing resources, or pooling knowledge, being a part of a community can be a huge asset. So, as we look towards a potentially turbulent economic future, remember that preparation is key. By building financial resilience, diversifying your investments, staying informed, learning from the past, preparing mentally and emotionally, and leaning on your community, you can deal with whatever changes may come. So, what steps are you taking to safeguard your financial future in these uncertain times? Share your strategies in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content like this.